Hello everyone, here is the Centurion, and today we're starting with a new series. The series is focused on Total War Rome 2. If you ever played Rome Total War, well, you know what I'm talking about. So this game differs from a previous title, Crusader Kings 3. This is a game based on turns, so it's a strategy based turn game. And the main aspect of this game, which distinguishes it from Crusader Kings 3, is that there is a tactical element which allows you to actually fight, win or even lose battles on the field, and those battles can actually change the fate of the war you're waging. So without further ado, let's move on and show the campaign. So first thing first, this is not the vanilla game. This is an improved version, a mod called Divide and Impera, which actually deepens the campaign, adds more features, more units, and a better UI system for the game. So the first episode will be focused on Rome, as it will be the first campaign. So the first thing you should do when choosing a civilization, which are many, of course, there are the Carthaginians, the Greek city-states, other normal tribes like the Dacians, Persians, Greeks and others. Well, we're gonna play with Rome for this time. If you want to see more content or similar content to this one, well, please like and subscribe to my new videos. So, when choosing Rome, well, you have three different options. The territory is still the same, the capital will be the same, but the factions which rule the government are different. So we have the nobiles, which have the following bonuses. They are barbarian subduers, so there is an increased melee attack during battles against barbarian tribes, which is an actually good bonus because we're gonna fight a lot of barbarians. There is a Romanization, which increases the cultural conversion, so it means that when you conquer a territory, it will be easier to convert this territory to your own culture. But at the same time, there is a malus, and we can see that this malus is that this faction is a cultural oppressor. So it means that there is going to be a decrease in public order due to the presence of the Roman culture. If we choose the patriciae, well, they have the agrarian wisdom trait, which increases the agriculture income, and agriculture, as we know from ancient times, was the main engine of income and wealth for a country. They are founding fathers, which means that they have a bonus for public order from the Latin culture. For those who don't know, well, Roman culture is, and the Roman language is basically the Latin culture. But they are political elitists, so it means that they have a penalty for diplomacy with other nations. And then at the end we have the equites, which are administrators, which increases the tax rate, which is a very good bonus. There are filini, Phileheneres, I butchered that, but sorry. So they have moderate diplomatic bonus with Hellenic factions or Greek factions. But unfortunately they have this drain for plebs, which means they have also maluses with the public order. So, which of those can we choose? I think that just for the bonus for the Romanization and the barbarian subduers, I think that the nobiles would be the best choice for this first campaign. So I'm gonna set the difficulty to hard, since I've played the game many times already and I wanted to show you how to play it or how not to play it especially. Let's check the victory conditions. So there can be a military victory in which we can control, in which we have to control 60 settlements, either by direct ownership or through client states or military allies. We have to completely control the following provinces, so Latium, Hispania, Gallia, Syria, Africa and Dacia. We need to have 200 units in total and maintain 18 units. Then we have the economic victory, which is similar to the military victory, but in this case you're required to control less settlements, different provinces. You see here, Latium, Africa, Trache, Yehuda, Boeotia and Asia. You need to have maintain trade relations with 15 other factions. you need to hold at least one of every strategic resource, which is quite a difficult challenge because strategic resources are located in many different parts of the world. And at the end of your turn, you have to have an income of at least 90,000 talents, which is massive, as you will see. And there is the cultural victory, which is completely controlling the 6 following provinces. Hold at least one settlement in 15 provinces in which your culture is dominant. You need to construct the following building: Pantheon, the Colosseum, and we need to research all of 30 of all technologies. So, as you understand from the victory conditions, well, we basically have to conquer a big chunk of the world. So there is no way around it. So the military victory, it's gonna be, of course, an opening door for the other victories. So, well, you have to basically be strong militarily. So, yeah, there is no other way around it. Then we can choose other options like advisor help, which I don't think we need, but we can, of course, set it at low. Show AI player moves, I don't really like that, so we're gonna turn it off. And a battle limit of 60 minutes to better strategize and possibly choose better in terms of tactics. So, we've chosen our faction, we have chosen our nation, and let's start the campaign. 2,000 years later. Okay, so for some reason our character doesn't speak, so I have to read it. So, you are Rome. You have recently defeated the other Italian powers and their local Celtic allies. After forcing their city-states to become allies of Roma, the influence of our great city now stretches into central and northern Italia. However, a new foe has rallied to the cause of Pyrrhus, to the cause of the Greek city-states of southern Italia. Pyrrhus of Epirus stands ready to hold back Roma for dominion over the peninsula. In Sicily, Syracuse and Carthage wage their own war for territory, so conflict with them is inevitable if you wish to expand across the Mediterranean. Otherwise, they may prove useful allies against the Greeks to the east or the Gaulish tribes to the north. Come what may, Rome will triumph. Okay, so we have our first objective. Assert to my bold undertakings. From humble beginnings come great things. Take your first step and establish a foothold from which to launch your people to greatness. So we need to completely control 3 provinces either by direct ownership or through client states and military allies. So if we complete this objective, we're gonna get 2,500 talents. Okay, so as we've read very poorly, I may add, from the introduction, well, we are at war with Pyrrhus, so if you know
In order to construct a proposal, double-click on a faction from the list and then add diplomatic options by clicking on the Add Offer or Demand buttons and selecting one. The proposed deal will take shape on the negotiation table. Click on the button next to an option to remove it.
Okay, thank you, lady. Yeah. I think that I can take off the advisor. We are not interested in the advisor. Okay, so as we have said previously, we are at work with Epirus, which is led by Pyrrhus of Epirus. So for those who know history, you know who Pyrrhus is and what he's capable of. So he's a great military leader who doesn't, well, care about throwing his men into the battlefield. And then we are at war with Etruria, which are the last Etruscan factions to be left after Rome has conquered the majority of Italia. So what can we do? I know that Pyrrhus has a huge army here in Taras, so it would be wise to move our armies,
Commander.
and let them go north to deal with the Etruscans. Or Etruscans, whatever they're called.
Finding shelter.
So we see there is a spy here, Imperial spy. We have some forces
Ready
that
for
went
orders.
with the first legion, Apollinaris. Emilius Papus is our general. Let's see. Let's move him
To your duties,
to Rome.
men.
And
Commander.
maybe let's start recruiting somebody. So you have the recruitment panel. We can recruit many units. We have the Triari, which are the elite of the Roman soldiery. Principes and the Hastati. The Hastati are the basic Roman soldiers. Freshly recruits or poor infantrymen. So we're gonna get
Soldiering.
3 of those.
It's
for
a
now.
good life.
Let's see, and we have some levies. Some rotari. Levies to have some skirmishers. Let's see if we can recruit some principes. Two turns. Okay, so we'll do it. Okay, so this army will be our main one. We're gonna send them to the Etruscans.
Make haste, men.
And then we need to research the technology. So in this panel you can see that we have military technology, and in the other one we have civilian technology. So as for military technology, we already researched the supply reforms, which enable us the building of barracks. And then if we want to go to management, tactics or siege, let's see what they offer. Okay, barracks construction, so we can construct auxiliary camps and stations, watchtowers. So plus 10 ammunition for all missile units enables the recruitment of champions, which is not bad. What about tactics? Physical conditioning, morale for melee infantry, morale keep cost. Okay. And for siege we can build a workshop which could be very, very useful later to build siege weapons. And siege weapons are fairly usable even in open field battles, and you'll see why. This is one of my favorite features to be honest. So let's click on the barracks construction for now, because this plus 10 ammunition is very, very nice. So let's see. Incredibly enough, Carthage has good relations with us, so it's even willing to trade, which is great, to be honest. Let's see if Massalia, which is Marseille.
Welcome. I throw open the doors to you and bid you enjoy our
Let's see
talks.
if they want a trade agreement. Success moderate. No, perfect. Okay, they've accepted.
Your proposal?
So remember, the more trade you have, it means that the more income per turn you have at the end of the day. So, what can we construct? No. Okay, so city. So what happens in the mod? Well, we have sanitation first of all, and with lower sanitation there comes a greater risk of outbreaks for poor hygiene. So we should strive and build some baths or aqueduct complex. I say we have a public forum as well. Let's see what we can build in Rome. For the aqueducts we need concrete. research technology. What else can we build? Italian immigrants, local people, growth, commerce, Mars, uniform. Suburbia. I think the consecrated ground could be good because it will give us sanitation and of course cultural influence. So another thing is that each province has a set amount of recruitable population, so it means that the more people are we recruiting to our army, the more people are going to be drafted, so the growth is going to go down. So this is one nice feature I would say, because in the vanilla game you could recruit people without any consent, so you could recruit thousands and thousands of people and the people in the province would still grow in numbers, which doesn't make any sense. And on the other hand, it's also good because it incentivizes you to actually win battles tactically and even take more part in tactical battles, as you will see in a couple of minutes. So there is a bigger emphasis on actually saving your men instead of sending them to their deaths, because each man is now, well, a wealth, since you cannot recruit indefinitely. So other factions, other nations finishing the turns, picking their moves, and we'll see what we can do later. So we have agents, as you will see here. We have a spy, which can, of course, reveal the position and the numbers of our enemies if we send her to a mission, which we will do right now. And then we have a politician, governor.
How can I
Governor,
serve Rome?
yes. If we click on the administration, he will increase the tax rates and we
You
give
see,
it back.
Rome's people are well served.
Carthage and Syracuse are at war, we don't care. Dorsia and Dalmatia, those two peoples are at war. This is our conditions, we've managed to recruit people. And now let's send
How
the
can I
spy
be of
and
assistance?
let's make her spy.
Treading the
I see that they're recruiting, the king of the Etruscans is recruiting some more people. Okay.
Commander,
So I think we should go. Before going,
ready for waiting
we
for more
can
orders.
maybe hire some mercenaries. We have some Hastati Etruscani, which we will recruit, and those are medium phalanx infantry, which will be useful in tactics. And what we're gonna do is, for now, let's just siege.
None will escape!
As you see, we have a very, very low battle content. It means that we're gonna be defeated if we attack on Alcazar, because they not only have their own army, but they also have garrison. The garrison is of course light infantry, but still it can make a lot of damage to the troops, so we're gonna just encircle them.
We take this settlement for Rome!
And we've both getting attrition.
Attack!
However, he
For
cannot
Rome!
recruit. He cannot recruit any more mercenaries, it's a shame. And we're gonna pull back our force from southern Italy to Rome. We're doing this because we know that if Pyrrhus decides to attack, well, there's not gonna be any hope of victory, unfortunately. So let's pass our turn. Of course, this mod is very heavy, so expect drop of frame rates, unfortunately. It's not very pleasant to the eye, I understand, but this mod is very, very worthy, in my opinion, as for gameplay and the changes that it adds. So I think it's worth exploring the plate. So let's see. It doesn't seem that Pyrrhus is actually doing anything right now. We could try and maybe siege Arretium, assault it. But I don't think it's a good idea because they have too many skirmishers. Okay, so they're trying to attack us. We could either retreat or fight. Let's try and fight, yeah. Well, if you lose, we're just gonna come up with a different strategy. Whatever. It's not such a big of a deal. Let's see if we have to wait another 2000 years for this battle to commence, but apparently no, which is good. So we are heavily outnumbered, so attacking head-on is not the best strategy. What I would suggest is to perhaps take advantage of the terrain if we are ready and wait for them to attack us. So, as I told you previously, we have a tactical map, and as you can see, we can admire and command the units that we have. So, let's see what we can do. We could use the hill, definitely, but of course they're gonna come from the hills as well, but we do not want to find ourselves fighting in the hills, or I mean not in the hills but in plain terrain. So what can we do? I see there is a slope here, so we can take our levies and put them here.
Battle group
Assign them
awaiting
to a battle
orders.
group, yeah. Our hastati are gonna be the main force, so we're gonna put them in the first line.
Battle group ready and awaiting
Our
orders.
general can go on the side, on the left side, and be a, let's say, a movement-based unit, so we can cut off archers and other troops. Then our triari are gonna be put on the second front line. We're just gonna use them when needed. Our mercenaries can cover our flanks and even take volley damage. And as our triari, our princeps can also
Triari! Jupiter gives us strength.
Let's put our princeps on the left. And let's await. Let's see what happens. I would give them
Yes!
troops
General! Ready! Ready and waiting.
for
Triari!
5,
Sons of Mars!
and then start the battle. So Arjuna is going to
Fighters at the double!
so you can see the
Giddy up!
Enemy reinforcements approaching.
yeah, we know. We're ready.
Triari! Advance at speed! General! For the
To
gods!
see where our enemies are. So as you see in the background, there's the city that we are besieging. No, sorry, it's that one. Yeah, it's the bigger settlement. This is just a village. Okay, so we don't see the units for now. The enemy units. Just take advantage and block the groups. Move them to a more advantageous position.
General!
Okay, I see the enemies, so
Triani! At the double! General!
let's scout.
In service!
Follow the enemies. Let's speed up time a little bit.
Principes!
Okay, let's put the principles here
Vendata!
on our flanks, so there's a lower chance of getting
Proud
intercepted.
Romans all!
Okay, here they are.
At speed! Legio Parati!
Let's try to conquer this position of the hill and possibly start raining arrows and payload into them.
General! Orders! Quick
Yeah, here they
march!
are.
Orders! And quickly now!
They tried to set the skirmishes first, but it's not a good idea since we have cavalry ready. Yeah, I see that he's in there, but who cares?
Front advance at speed! Forward!
Yeah, and that started arrowing us up, unfortunately. Let's try and harass them.
Proud Romans all! General! Riders at the double! Advance! Advance at speed! Forward! Engage! Into flying wedge formation! Run quickly now!
Our general is under attack.
Let's just harass them
At the double!
immediately. Shall we? We have made a pretty heavy amount of damage to them, and they have barely scratched us.
Forward!
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Quickly now! Riders, advance!
And I'm moving caps are gonna try both light infantry. Mercenaries shot to the same. We are gonna go and circle the archers.
Superjet gives us great heavies! At the double, ready! Pull back! Missile infantry!
Behind
Back! Back now!
the wall,
General!
Hastati. And the Hastati is gonna have a match.
Spears!
Mercenaries.
Advance!
Here we have some good general.
Heavies! Obey! Ready and waiting! General! Forward! Quickly now!
I'm using some simple, which is great. Now that the general is going and charging, we're just gonna go and heal all of the archers. Perfect strategy.
We await orders!
We're making a lot of...
One of our units has used all its
damage
ammunition.
to the archers, which is great. Now the general, of course, the king, knows what's going on. He's trying to save his archers.
Spears!
And I find this good. The
Sons of
triggers are
Mars!
working very well.
Close to command!
So we might actually do the
Italian
battle.
spearmen!
Let's
Heavies!
not chant victory for now, but
For glory!
finished.
General!
So we don't have any more ammunition. So that's why ammunition is important, because they already finished.
For glory!
Let's try and escape because
Advance! As you quickly!
people are trying to harm us. So light infantry. I'm escaping because I'm mostly focusing on killing the archers with the cavalry. Because that's the main purpose of the cavalry.
Proud Romans all!
Yeah, we can use our
As you
quick caps
command!
to actually kill
Brave Romans to a man!
some people as well. And they've sent out swordsman, like swordsman, that is. We're already routing, which is great. So it means we can win the battle. We shall try and do as much damage as we can. And we are gonna be
Orders!
back.
Understood!
Let's try to kill the sneakers as well.
Italian spearmen!
We'll try to circle.
The men are wavering.
Who is waving?
Brave Romans to a man! Break up! Triadi! Orders! Forward!
So I think that our strategy with the cavalry was very successful because we denied them
Light infantry at your command! Proud Romans all! Triadi!
Oh, we can also use the phalanx.
Jupiter gives us strength!
Not yet. I'm just gonna use it as possible.
Romans, ready for duty!
Then vigilance shall be able to balance this.
At your service! Advance at speed! Brave Romans to a man! Ready and waiting! Up for glory! Light infantry, ready! General! The riders! Advance! Advance! Engage!
So the main point of our cavalry is just to harass
For glory!
the subjects.
Quickly now!
Yes. So this is
Enemies! Ready and waiting!
left flank has collapsed, so we can counter-attack, and now we're gonna push them with cavalry. Let's try to kill as many of these as we can. Oh, the pavilions are already winded. It's their time. But yeah, and we surrounded.
Spearmen ready for orders. Ready.
Let's try this with the flanks.
Proud Romans all!
Go away. Let's circle the town guard. Yeah, everybody's running.
Orders!
Basically,
Orders. Spearmen at the ready.
Advance! Advance! General! Advance!
let's try and maybe pursue the general. See how.
Charge!
No, I don't think we can.
What are you waiting? And charge! General! Romans ready for duty! General!
Try and kill the Scots.
Jupiter gives us strength! General! For glory! Brave Romans to a man!
Yeah. Separate. Let's try and kill them.
Brave Romans! Advance!
So we've lost a big portion of our Valentines. We have
Advance!
utterly defeated the defenders of Etruscan. And if everything goes right, we should be able to conquer the city and finish the war with the North community. Let's speed up the time a little bit. Let's send our cavalry to kill as many people as we can before they can retreat. Let's just focus on the heaviest ones. Oh, Imperial swordsmen. Okay, let's kill those ones. Yes, soldiers are celebrating. Okay, so we managed to kill some special units, which is great, because we would not have to deal with heavy units. Are there other people? Yeah, we're still fighting some other people. And let's try and kill the general. I don't know where our units went. Let's continue the battle and let's try and kill the general. I don't think we'll manage because we're too far away and they're gonna escape out of the borders and whatever. It was like a good victory. We utterly crushed our enemies, which is great. And now we can end basically the war in the north, which will give us time, resources, and men to actually strike at Pyrrhus. Close victory, only close victory. Okay. So we lost 491 men, but we killed almost 2,100. So I think we did pretty well, considering that also we've been harassed a lot by archers and heavy infantry. The blade itself incites to violence. Homer. I mean, I don't know, about the quote. Like, I understand the meaning here, of course, like, having weapons, having power incites yourself to be more violent, more aggressive, but I don't know, I think it depends mostly on the person. If you have like a wise person that is holding the blade, he maybe try and not use the blade in all of the situations, but of course if you find yourself with a maniac or a warmonger, then yeah, of course he's gonna bring death and destructions upon its way. So, yeah, it makes sense. So we've defeated the army, but not completely. So we still have resistance in the region. But I think that if we... So let's see what we can do. We can ransom the captives. We can enslave them, or we can kill them. I think we're gonna just ransom them.
Your next
Get some
command?
nice money in our treasury. So our general has increased in rank. It means that he's gonna be more efficient in winning battles. He's gonna be a strategic mind over time, and our army also is gonna benefit because after the battle we already have some experience. which means that more experience you have, better your soldiers will do in battle. So let's see, can we actually... Let's see what we can give to him. So he's hilarious, so he's funny. So it gives both to public order and wealth. What can we assign to him? Skilled tacticians, so melee defense, gravitas and cunning. Rightful sovereign, authority, improvement of intellectual character traits, gravitas, military logistician, ferocious warrior. Oh, this is gonna be good if we want to make him a powerful general. Commander of men, morale is also good. Capable bureaucrat, which gives us more tax rate and zeal. Gravitas, or camp administrator, which gives us ammunition. I think that, well, Romans are famous for having a strong core of infantry and legions later on, so I think that for now, let's see what we can unlock. So, experienced archer, cavalryman, veteran machine, oh okay, and trained swordsman, military logistician. Yeah, let's go with ferocious warrior. We can assign other skills, so veteran marine, okay, so it's marine, trained swordsman, infantry units, experienced archer or cavalryman. I think we're gonna go with trained swordsman. That's all for the skills. Then you can of course improve the skill later, but you need more experience. So now that we have improved our skills, let's see if we can conquer Aretur.
None will escape!
We can, as you see, the balance of power goes undeniably to our favor, so we can just auto-resolve the battle without losing time to actually fight it. So we can go aggressive, and since they don't have many archers, it's the best choice. Let's just go aggressive. We slaughter them. And we conquer Aretur. So what can we do? We can occupy it. We can loot it, which gives us a lot of money, but well, an instability due to the fact that we have looted settlement in the province gets subjugated, which is not a very good idea because we'll basically make them puppet states. We can sack it, or raise it to the ground, or liberate it. Let's just occupy it.
Ready for battle!
So as you see, we've fought another battle, even if in auto-resolve. And what happened is that our legion got an experience as well. What can we say about this? Experience is important because our general has its own experience. He can be the best general, but he can die. So once he dies, even of natural causes, all of his experience points will be lost. But legion's experience will never be lost because men can die, but the legion stays. So this is very important, especially these traditions are very important because, okay, so now we have destroyed the Etruscans, so we basically ended the war in the north as for now. So what military traditions do? It's the same as our character skills, but in this case it's the army skill. So we can choose traditions. So let's see. Vanguard region, which gives us melee attack and campaign map movement range, which is great. Garrison Auxilia for defense and armor, all units, which is also nice. Or engines of war, so which gives us morale for all units and -5 additional losses when besieging. Let's just go with Vanguard. Okay, so Vanguard, and we can choose formidable fighters, accomplished skirmishers, or inexorable conquerors. I think that the -5 attrition when besieging is very nice, so we will go with this one. So now, as you see, we have conquered a whole province, and it means that we can actually make edicts. So edicts are basically bonuses that we can give to our province, which can give us, for example, Romanization. So we're gonna convert the population to the Roman culture. As we already see, the province has a majority, 61% of people who are of Latin culture. So this, and it's increasing. so it's very nice. So we don't have actually a problem of romanization. Export food, which gives us -5 food, but 42% from farming and livestock income, which is nice, but we need food from now, as we have low food. Bread and games, which increases the public order, and we actually need it. Party loyalty, I'm gonna explain later on in the later episodes what is this. It's a very important part of the game, since they're political parties, as we've chosen in the beginning of the video, a party to rule a nation. But if a party becomes too powerful and too disloyal, a civil war can ensue. So it's very important to keep our opponents loyal to us. We can make a tax harvesting, which gives us more taxes, which is always nice. Court merchant simulation, sell slaves, import food, or go to arms, which gives us -15% of recruitment and replenishment, but also lesser public order. We need public order, especially to have a province which gives us resources and taxes. So we're gonna go for bread and games right now, which will give us growth and public order. And of course those edicts will take place from the next turn. So
Ready, willing, and
our governor is actually governing, so he's an administrator, and he will grant us more taxes. I think that we can disband the mercenaries for now, because mercenaries cost a lot. In fact, you see that we have saved 200 talents from our treasury for the next turn. What can we do? I'm gonna build the barracks. Normal barracks. Okay, for some reason the mod doesn't allow us to see the auxiliary camps, but for now we need the Roman barracks, so we can recruit more people in a single turn, and we can of course recruit better units. So let's go for that. Asculum, it produces what? Wine, which is very good. Roman Hamlet, village, harbor, Asculum. No, Asculum produces fish, sorry. So Arretium produces wine. Asculum produces fish. So as it produces fish, we can we can assign this as a fishing port. Aluminium, since it has salt, and since salt is a great source of wealth, we can develop aluminium to be our commercial harbor. And then in Asculum, we can assign this settlement to be an agrarian settlement, so we're gonna expand it and add villas, which are basically fields. So Beneventum, we're gonna leave it for now because we still haven't dealt with the Imperial menace. So we're just gonna send the Legia out at Utrix, which is commanded by our faction leader. We're gonna send them to Rome. Of course, as you see, more men we have, the public order is actually increasing, because people are actually afraid that we're gonna use the soldiers against them. So what can we recruit? I want to change the name of Legion.
At your command.
And let's call it Legion 2nd Augusta. Yeah, a fitting name for a fitting great legion. So our faction leader has many traits which gives different bonuses, as Primus Inter Pares, first among equals, Brute, which is Momzil, Magnanimous. Those traits can give you maluses and bonuses, as we see the deputy, clueless but learning, so yeah, he has some pretty big maluses for our movement, but whatever. What do we have? Stati, we have Princeps and Petites Extraordinary, which are heavy phalanx infantry. What can we recruit? Okay, let's just disband those plebs. We're gonna recruit some hastati,
It is a great and glorious thing to die for
some
Rome.
ladies, and more principes and triari, with some equites as well. And we're gonna have this nice bulk of legion. Okay, so everything that we could have done, we did. I don't see any more reason to actually improve our cities for now because we lack food. As you see, if we improve the city, we have a -5 food. This is very dangerous because without food, our army will have no supply, and without supplies, we're gonna starve. And so we are exposing ourselves for unnecessary risk. So, for what I will do right now is to end the turn and see what Pyrrhus will do in southern Italy. If he's not gonna do anything, we're gonna send our first legion to Asculum, and then we're gonna descend into Taras and try to finish the war in Italy, at least temporarily. So, if you enjoyed this content, I'm gonna give you updates on the second episode, which will hopefully be out for tomorrow. If you like the contents, as said previously, like and subscribe. And I'm gonna see you next time.